Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about grad cams. So let's talk about what a grad cam is. This is how AI actually understands stuff. Um, so they understand what a grad cam is, why it was created, how does it work in real world applications. That's what we're gonna be talking about. So an image is basically made out of lots of pixels, and that's how the AI understands it. So there's each pixel is labeled with different types of numbers. Zero being least important, 0.1 or the higher decimal values or even one is much more important. So that's how the AI model actually understands it, and that's what a grad cam is. And there's different colors like red, yellow, green, blue, and that's how the and that's how the AI model knows which features are important or not. And that's how we're going to be talking about much more later in this entire slideshow. So, for example, there is a dog right here, but the AI sees it like this, like lots of tiny pixels, and it like highlights the important features. For example, its head, its ears are much more important, so that's why it's red. And then the grass is not as important because that's just a background. So, we're going to be talking about the features much more later in the slideshow. So let's talk about why we need grad cams. There is another image of a dog. I love dogs. So, how does an AI actually predict this is a dog? Well, we give it a bunch of data of dog images and cat images, for example. This is the most basic example I can take. And there's lots of different features in the AI model or in the different images. Like for cats, their ears are probably more pointy, and for dogs, it's more loopy. So, of course, this area is going to be highlighted much more important. And it also understands the images much more with the brightness of the image so that the AI model knows to focus on those certain areas and goes like, "Oh yes, this is a dog." So AI wonders what part of this image did it use? Did it focus on the dog's face or at the background? Well, that's what the GradCam helps us with. As I mentioned, the background is like a darker blue, which is not that important, but the dog's, let's say, ears are like a hot red, like a bright, bright red. So that's much more important feature that the AI model actually focuses on. So grad cams are really helpful, and if we didn't have grad cams, then the AI model probably wouldn't be able to predict that this is a dog. So now let's understand the heat map. So as you can see, this is an example of a giraffe. So red is meaning the most important. Orange is like, okay, yeah, pretty important, not as important as the red, but really important. And yellow is like somewhat important, and blue is like the least important. So the hotter colors mean that the AI model focuses more on that part of the image. And it's not showing that deep, but as I mentioned earlier, there is pixels in an image. So that so AI is all about numbers, not really colors. So it does I might have confused you guys by saying that, but it's true. There is like tiny pixels, let's say. This is the image, okay? There's like tiny pixels like this. Okay, they're all like squares like this. Okay, and it's labeled like this is going to be 0.0, for example. But let's say this area, it's probably going to be like 0.7, and then maybe the yellow area is like a 0.5 or something like that. So the entire image is numerically named, but for us, the grad cams we see as different colors, and the AI model probably does see it as colors as well. But everything just revolves around numbers, and that's what's like super important about grad cams. So yeah. So this slideshow is really, really short. I'm just talking about how grad cams actually are. So some real world applications, it can be used anywhere and everywhere because AI models always used grad cams. But some examples are healthcare, self-driving cars, agriculture, wildlife research, manufacturing, and satellites. So in healthcare, obviously, AI can be used anywhere in healthcare. I don't even feel like I need to explain it, but in healthcare, like different types of x-rays, which parts are important or not. Like if you have a bone image, what's the most important part? Definitely not the background, but the main bone injured area. Self-driving cars, like if you need to know a red signal and anything like that. So self-driving cars are basically motors like you see, and it's automatic. So people's lives are in the hands. Agriculture, growing vegetables, wildlife research, animals, manufacturing, and satellites in space, basically. Thank you. So I know this slideshow was very, very short, but it's a very helpful slideshow to understand just about what grad cams actually are. So I'm going to say this one more time. You have an image of an animal. Um, there is four different colors used: red, orange, yellow, and blue. And hotter colors meaning that the part of the image is much more important, and lighter colors meaning that, or sorry, cooler colors meaning that it's not as important. And the AI model sees them all numerically valued from zero point 0.0 to 1. So when it's zero point 0.0, the AI model is like, no, that's not important. But zero point 0.1 is like, okay, yeah. 0 0.9 or even 1, that's the most important. That's what the AI model focuses on. And sometimes it's not as accurate because of how the figure's shaped. Like the GradCam can be wrong and everything, and the AI probably hallucinates and doesn't focus as much. So yeah, but GradCams are like how AI actually predicts different images. So I hope you enjoyed this like very short video just about GradCams. I will be posting more. And if you haven't liked and subscribed yet, make sure you do so and leave a comment. Bye guys, see you in my next video.